And good afternoon. No, it's still morning. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Sports Talk. Glad to have you with us.
I'm lost in the time warp. Did you say? Okay, good morning.
It is morning, 8:52 morning. Little reverse action, so a little breakfast before the
When
show
have we
this
ever
morning.
had breakfast before the show?
Well, that would be never
Never.
that I know of. Not
can't
for the morning show anyway.
Not in
because
modern history, anyway.
modern history.
You got to remember the show in some form or another has been around for about 20 years or more.
Yeah.
In some form.
But I still can't ever imagine we had breakfast though before.
No.
Now, a donut. Brett supplies us a donut.
Sure.
But that's usually during
During breakfast.
the show.
Now,
Not during breakfast.
we've had it in places where the food was right there, and we had,
Oh yeah,
had to go through the
no,
buffet
I forgot about
line.
that. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. The old Ryan's.
The old Ryan's
comes to mind.
Ryan's restaurant.
Going in there and Mike loved that. We go back to the buffet days.
Back to the buffet days.
Walk to
of
the
old.
buffet.
Well, now that
commercial breaks.
now that COVID is not as serious as it was, do you think they'll go back to buffets, or have they already?
Good question. I don't think some places probably never quit.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but
I don't think Golden Corral ever quit. did it?
even more, Mike, will some places open their doors again?
Yeah,
There are some restaurants that
that closed their doors.
Yeah.
They only did takeout
Yeah.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
Will they open their doors again?
has the city of Cherryville got some of those that don't name them, but has the city of Cherryville got some that have done
Well,
that?
I know one iconic.
I know there's some in Langton that have done that, and
Yeah, I know one iconic restaurant in Cherryville
Yeah.
that hasn't reopened its
well, you just
doors.
named it.
Yeah,
Nah, there's several iconic.
I was thinking
Restaurant.
of the Shake Shop.
Yeah, I know. So you did name it. There you go.
did
I
name
know what you were thinking,
Yeah.
and I said don't name it.
Now the
You did
others,
anyway.
the other burger places in Cherryville have pretty much opened their doors back.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say 95% are back.
Yeah.
Pretty much normal at this point. But there are a few, around that still just want to do the takeout kind of thing. But that's okay. Hey, they're making it work, and people are eating it.
Yeah.
People are getting the takeout.
Well, my thing after a football game I was covering, I would always want to go to McDonald's and write the story up because I could always count on them being open till 11.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the case for those 2 years.
Some of them aren't some of them open 24 hours where you can go in,
Yeah,
use the Wi-Fi
they used to
24
be.
hours? I don't know.
I went to use the Wi-Fi, of course, and just to have somewhere to write occasionally.
Yep. You guys were talking about this as I sat back down with my Dunkin' Donuts coffee while we're giving the plugs here this morning. The Dunkin' Donuts coffee here that Brett brought in for me this morning. You guys had mentioned that Brian Greasy has left ESPN. He's going to the San Francisco 49ers to be the quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we throw that part in there, right? You're going
Not
to San
the
Francisco,
quarterback.
right? To be the quarterback coach for the 49ers. Who's he replacing there? Do we know who's?
I don't know.
And I'm guessing
Let's see
that,
Who was their previous quarterback whisperer?
yeah. And the reason I asked is because was he a casualty of losing in the playoffs, or was he somebody that actually benefited and moved on and is now maybe an offensive coordinator with another team? There's so many
Well,
changes and upgrades and things like that, but I just don't know exactly who that might be.
An even bigger question is who will be the 49ers quarterback in 2022?
I don't think there's a question there. I'm guessing Trey Lance, right?
Trey Lance.
I mean, is that not?
Seems to be.
Yeah, because Garoppolo, although injured and expecting surgery, is on the trade block.
That's right.
And I don't know what you get for him with a guy that's getting ready to be laying on the operating table, but
Looks like Rich Scangarello. You ever heard that name?
I have now.
Yeah.
Just once.
Left San Francisco to be the University of Kentucky offensive coordinator.
It's a little different.
Went back to the college ranks, or to the college ranks, I should say.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Kentucky, I mean, that's been they've had a pretty good team for the last. He's one of the Stoops. Am I right?
Mark.
Mark is the coach. One of the Stoops and has done a good job with the Kentucky program, but it's been kind of a more of a power running offense from what I gathered.
I never really thought of them as that.
So now, are they looking to switch that? Is that one of the things here? Maybe they got, top quarterback coming in. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is for the change, but it also means that Kentucky's offensive coordinator either was let go or moved on too. The old domino effect.
Yeah,
coming into play. You mentioned the Shake Shop earlier. You know what Scott Cloninger just sent me?
What did he say?
Ate at the Shake Shop in Spindale yesterday after the baseball game, and I recommend it.
Ooh.
So
how would he compare it to our own Cherryville Shake Shop?
I don't know. But
he recommends it? Okay.
He recommends it. So
if I'm ever in Spindale.
I used to go through that area quite a bit. Have you the town of Rutherfordton is really neat.
Yeah.
It's really and that's RS Central. That's where they get their name, Rutherfordton and Spindale. And there's only just a little stoplight that separates the two towns. And it's like definitely a mountain
and
type.
Forest City's not far.
No, Forest City's not far away. But it's be a good place to visit. But now I have not been to that Shake Shop as far as I know in Spindale. I think I know where it is. I think I remember seeing it where it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you leave and go from the old RS that used to be on the top of the hill where they got their name, right?
Hilltoppers.
Then and you go from there through the light towards Spindale. I think it's down there on the left, if I'm not mistaken. But if you're in that area, which I don't know why I would be in that area unless I went to a game over there. But have to check that out sometime. Big news going on in the world of sports right now. Of course, on the local front, it's a huge day for high school basketball in this area. We are down to the regional finals. We got the finally got all the schedules and the sites and all that. We used to like it where you could go to Hickory and watch multiple games and and all that kind of stuff. Well, it's going to be a little harder to do that with this new format that's going on right now. 8 different high schools today across the state of North Carolina. 8 high schools will host 2 regional games, a boys and girls game in a particular classification, such as Brett says he's going up to watch at Freedom High today, the 3A girls, 3A boys, and the 3A girls is North Davidson taking on
Inca.
The Inca, just one game over 500, right?
Yeah, 15 and 14.
15 and 14.
Started the playoffs 11 and 14.
Yeah, well.
Wow.
Started the playoffs 11 and 14. How about that?
The 19 seed.
We've seen teams make runs like this.
Yeah, with losing records, and they finally get to 500 by the time of the state championship game.
Yep. They finally.
Didn't Bandy's do that way back? I want to say they did. The boys.
I remember North Gaston boys having a run like that one time back in back in the 80s. They had a really nice run like that. I don't know how far they actually got, but I'm pretty sure they won a sectional and got to the regionals.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about tournaments. you sometimes can do that.
Yep. Yep, and no series is like in a lot of sports. Basketball is always, except with the exception of NBA, it's the old one and done as used for a different reason.
Yeah. All it takes is one bad game of shooting, and you're done.
Yes, it does. Which we, commented on at the early breakfast table today, talking about a couple local teams. But just to take a look at what happened during the week, Tuesday night, all the regional semifinals were played this past Tuesday night, and Winston-Salem Prep and Bessemer City met over in Winston-Salem, and pretty close game, close. Bessemer City stayed with Winston-Salem Prep, 58-54 in that one. Winston-Salem Prep now will take on Hayesville. Hayesville a winner over Thomasville, 81-62. I was a little surprised by the spread in that one because Thomasville Brett, you probably kept up a little closer, but it seemed like they've been pretty much beating people themselves by 10 or 20, double digits, and then they get handled by Hazel.
Yeah, I'd like to see that game in some ways because, Hazel's just been dominating on its run to the regional final.
Where's the 1A, Brett?
AC Reynolds.
AC Reynolds.
Okay.
So, honestly, that's probably a little bit closer to Hazel, but not as much as you'd think going to AC Reynolds,
I know.
But that has got to be a
There's nothing close to Hazel.
pretty nothing except Georgia. The ride of the day might be, if they were playing at one of the sites of that. But I was just looking at the other night's matchup. Thomasville going to Hazel on a school night.
Ooh,
Tough.
tough.
Thomasville to Hazel. What was that? 3 hours
Yeah.
on a school night.
5.
But you
5
think it's
hours.
5? Surely
Could
not.
be.
4.5 from Buckfield to Hazel.
Yeah, well, it probably is 5. That gives new meaning. I mean, they had to. They got back after midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on a school night. Go to school the next morning if they happen to make it that morning. Who knows? The east side of the 1A, Wilson Prep, not to be confused with Winston-Salem Prep.
Oh, yeah. The team I saw last year against Lincoln
Yes, you
Charter
did.
in the finals, and
Yes, you
they're back.
They
Well, not yet, but
They were defending state champs. They
Yes.
are defending state champs. They
Right.
won last year's state championship after entering the playoffs with a record of
2-2.
2-2. How about that? 2-2. Of course, it was a COVID-shortened season a year ago, but most teams had in 15
They
games,
did.
12 to 15 games.
Right.
They had played 4 and got in the playoffs and then made it all the way and won the state championship.
I think from 2-2 it ended up 8-2 or whatever the run takes to
Had
get to-
never seen that before, and we'll probably hopefully never see it
Hopefully
again.
never see it again.
Yep. Wilson Prep beat North Edgecombe 76-64. They'll now take on Chatham Charter, the 57-49 winner over Kip Pride on Tuesday night. And I know you guys are very familiar with
Very
both
familiar
of
with
those
Kid
teams.
Pride.
Just the names there, right? Charter, Chatham Charter, and Kip Pride.
Kip Pride.
Tells you quite a few things. Of course, then you got Winston-Salem Prep in the other bracket, so the only non-prep / charter school in that bracket is Hayesville. 2A West. West Caldwell, magical run came to an end. They won 3 games, won their sectional, got into the regionals, the semifinals, but ran into a very good North Surrey team. North Surrey a winner over West Caldwell in that one, 84-73. And should be a good matchup, I would think, coming up today when North Surrey takes on J.M. Robinson. J.M. Robinson squeaked by Monroe 49-45. It was really Robinson's first close game, wasn't it, Brett, in the playoffs this postseason?
Yeah.
Monroe is the team that ousted Lincoln Charter
Yes.
the Saturday before.
By 10, I think it was,
Yeah,
10-point win.
58-48.
Yep.
they're-
What's their strength?
They're just very quick. I mean, they don't have any big guys, but they just really defend like crazy, and they're just, very just a fast-paced, athletic bunch of kids.
Right.
Hard-nosed, play, really defend you hard. Don't give you any easy shots.
You know what? This could be one of. I mean, J.M. Robinson. I thought all along they were the team to beat just by, but Monroe playing them pretty close like that leads me to think North Surrey.
Could get a big game.
Yeah, North Surrey's always seems to be a little underrated, don't they? They always are as fundamentally sound a team as you'll see,
Absolutely.
and usually shoot the ball well, defend well.
And what I always impressed by just the way they move the basketball.
Yes.
Pass it, find the open man, like you said.
Where's that one at, Brett?
That one is at
That's the 2A
Grimsley.
Grimsley High in Greensboro. Yeah, there's so many. The sites are kind of got me confused. I mean, I can sit down and think about it and get them, but just because they're all over the place right now, anywhere from Greensboro to Asheville is the west bracket. Taking a look at the other half of that bracket, what a shocker here, Farmville Central, right in the East Finals. Is that a shocker? Not really.
No.
It was 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this bracket. The seeds all made it to the top 4 seeds all made it to the Final Four in the 2A East. Farmville Central beat St. Paul 71-52, and then probably the game of the night as far as the playoffs go was Kinston beating Cummings. Cummings was undefeated going into this game, and Kinston beats them 58-55. And now Kinston and Farmville play in that East Championship. And that game, Brett, I read on Twitter that some upset fans there because they're going 2 hours from either school to play. I don't even remember where it is, but the travels. Lee County. They said that's about a 2-hour ride from both schools to play that.
I guess it's not
East Final.
meet in the middle 2-hour drive.
Exactly.
Or it would make sense.
Yeah, right. But, Kinston, I
don't
think,
even know exactly where Farmville Central is. Is that
Right.
near Greenville?
right in the middle of Farmville.
Yeah.
I did know what county.
And how
that
close
was
is
in,
that to
but
Fanville?
Fanville? Is that the? Yeah, a long way.
A long way from Fanville.
Farmville. What county is that? I did see the other day. I read it the other day, and now it slips my mind what county Farmville is in. But it's from what I understand, it's not the only really. I mean, there's more schools in that county that are pretty good, if I remember correctly. But, this is a team that's won, 2 straight state championships. Is that right, Brett? Looking for their 3rd in a row. Last year scored 113 points in the East Finals and 113 points in the state championship game.
Yeah.
So back-to-back 113-point games. No lack of offense. Scott Cloninger says Farmville is near Green Acres. So,
It is in Pitt County.
Pitt
So
County.
it is near Greenville.
Yep. You got what? North Pitt is another high school in
North
that
Pitt,
county, and not to mention all those
Greenville Road.
Yes, all those 4A schools that are down the road. But Farmville's been the class of not just 2A, but really the class of high school basketball.
For about 5 years.
Yeah, at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can go back to when they beat East Lincoln.
Came from
What,
11
5 or
points
6
down.
years ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
When East Lincoln had both Surratt brothers on
Yes.
the team.
Yep. Well, there never was a time, Mike, was there, that they didn't have.
Well, Chaz's
But-
freshman year.
Yeah, his freshman year. That's right. His
Yeah.
freshman year. Sage would have still been at the middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that was
Farmville, that was 2016 that they beat East Lincoln in the title.
They also won a couple state titles. People don't realize this. Like in the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, I think they won back-to-back state championships. But this is a new run for them, and they've been pretty hot since
How would
that
you
year.
compare their run to Winston, to Kinston's there for a number of years? Probably similar.
It's similar. It's Kinston's was more bunched together, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they won 4 straight, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
We're not going to. Farmville could
Sure.
win 4 straight.
Oh, yeah.
There will be some people packed in that gym today. Farmville Central and Kinston. Where's that one going to be played? Lee
That was
County.
yeah.
Lee County,
Yeah.
which is near Raleigh, right? Is that
Mhm.
is Lee County border Wake? Trying to remember, but
So Farmville won it in 16 and 19. Then in 20 they were co-champs because they didn't play the state championship game,
Right.
and then they won it in 21.
didn't they win it even further back than that? Like in
Well, yeah, I'm just going
Okay,
back to that.
okay,
I'm just going
okay.
back to where they started this
this
Run.
run.
this
Run.
run
Yep.
when they beat East Lincoln.
Yeah, 2A's been fun to keep up with because, it's just like every time you look at scores and stuff, you always kind of take a peek at Farmville just to see what they like. You do Kinston, you always, especially when they're playing good teams or matched up with each other. And I'm gonna say that there'll be some great crowds today, but Farmville and Kinston will probably have. I don't care if it's 2 hours away or not. People are going to make that trip.
Which team during their run has produced more like big-time college-level players, you think?
Well, come on, Mike. That's not even a question.
Kinston, of course.
Yes. I would.
Yeah, Farmville
Why did you
has-
stop at college level?
Let's go pro.
Farmville has a
Go
freshman
pro.
at NC State that's having
They
a
do.
good year.
They do.
But yeah, when you look at Brandon Ingram,
Oh my God, yeah.
Reggie Bullock,
Reggie Bullock.
Stackhouse,
Yes.
Stackhouse.
Kinston. Seems like there's another one.
Yeah,
that I'm
going
missing.
back-
those are all good NBA
I think
players.
Stackhouse
Charles
moved to
Shackelford.
Kinston to play at Kinston. If I'm not, Charles Shackelford, way back before your time.
Yeah.
And
Charles Shackelford.
unfortunately, Charles is deceased.
Yeah.
He passed away.
Yeah, it's
Seemed like there were even a couple more. I just can't.
high school
there are more.
basketball royalty.
It is.
Kinston and Kinston's the
Well,
got
when
the
you're getting,
history, and Farmville's the team.
when you're getting
Now.
national TV features about your high school and the pipeline to the pros, a
Yeah.
little school like that in Kinston, and
Mhm.
also big time stories in magazines.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it was in Sports Illustrated, but there was some magazine, some big
Mhm.
major publication that had a story on the Kinston tradition as well. I
Well,
mean,
certainly we don't see any other pipelines like it in North Carolina. Sending players that eventually make it to the big league.
my fondest memory of I don't know if it's fond memory or not of Kinston is going to the American Legion baseball state tournament and traveling at night and trying to get to Morehead City and going through Kinston, and the McDonald's was open, and I was with Rick and the late Jonathan Sumo Schruntz, and we
Right.
stopped and we ordered, and that is
A memory that will
live
on in
yes,
infamy.
I will never forget that stop at that McDonald's.
My problem was I went the wrong way, ended up in Wilmington, and had to travel up the coast to Morehead City.
Yeah.
Gary Hallman,
And I
That
drove
was,
down by myself.
the late Gary Hallman.
Day or two after
the
you
late Gary
guys did.
Hallman.
Yeah. And neither one of you guys stopped at McDonald's
No.
in
Stopped at
Kinston.
McDonald's.
I don't think I
I'll
stopped a
say,
single time.
Fortunately,
when I made that 5.5 hour drive.
fortunately, you did not. Yeah, but I do. I remember that, and I'm sure Rick. As a matter of fact, I think Rick was the driver on that.
He
Is that
was.
The,
Yeah.
is that
He
the
was.
night that he also got a salad on the side at a fast food restaurant?
That may be. That
That's one
that
day
sounds
back.
more like it. Here's one we forgot that went to Kinston, and this one always does slip my mind for somebody. But who was the? I'll give you guys a hint. Mean Green.
Green.
That ought to help you, Mike. Might not help Brett too much. Who was known as the Mean Green back in the day? That their one and only Final Four.
Oh, well, I thought North Texas, but I don't think that's who you're talking about.
No,
They are
This
the
was just
Mean
like their
Green.
nickname at the time. It wasn't their actual mascot, but the
Oh.
college team is
Marshall.
very close to here.
Oh, the 49ers
Yeah.
of UNCC.
So who is the player out of Kinston? That was
Cornbread
Maxwell,
Maxwell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's another one.
Yes,
My
thank you,
Lord.
Lenny. Cornbread Maxwell. Lenny says, when I think of Kentucky football, the first thing comes to me is aired out offenses led by Tim Couch
Yeah.
and a robust Jared Lorenzen. Yeah, that's a
Putting
good
in
way to
Molly.
put it.
Jared Lorenzo.
He's passed away too, right?
Yeah,
The
he
late-
did.
Man, bringing up a lot of
Yeah.
guys that have
Making our show.
Here's something good
Passed
to know on
away.
this Farmville Central team. They have one senior.
Oh,
He averages 11.
something good for who to know. It's not good to know if you're
He's-
Kinston or
He's the third leading scorer on the team.
The beat goes on.
A team that is 26-3 right now.
Oh boy.
They have one in-state loss, and it was to 4A Millbrook.
Okay.
not too shabby, huh?
No.
Yep, not too. And that's Farmville.
Yeah.
Who? And you tell me Farmville's already beaten Kinston this year. Didn't you tell me
Beat
that?
him by 16 in January.
So it's a rematch.
Rematch?
16
Ooh.
neutral court.
Um,
Probably
Somewhere.
not if it was in January.
It says it was away. So
Okay.
either at Kinston or on a neutral court.
Okay. So does that make you want to go with Farmville again? Would you
I
automatically
would
go?
pick
I
Farmville.
would,
Yeah,
yeah.
they've just
Sorry,
been the
Brian.
dominant team.
Sorry, Brian Hanks.
And Kinston only has 2 losses, and that was one of them.
Yeah. Well, I thought
Their other loss was Eastern
I honestly
Wayne.
thought Cummings might pull off what would be considered maybe an upset, but how's it an upset when you're 22-0?
Yeah, just based on the last 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
Cummings, hadn't been great.
Yeah, but go back a little further than that, though, and they were the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won 3 out of 4, I think. I
Mhm.
think there was a span where they won 3 titles in 4 years
Mm-hmm.
in 2A basketball. Now seem to be making their move on the way back. Also had a really good football season this past year, too, for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah,
so
their football program has been down for
It had.
years.
they had.
Kinston has 7 seniors on their team.
Wow.
Don't know if that'll make a difference or not.
It could.
Yeah.
It could.
Championship game, pressure.
I will
Big
not.
arena.
I'll avoid putting money on either team in that one because I just think anybody could. Here again, tell me if I'm wrong, Brett. Farmville wants this game to be in the 90s. Kinston wants it to be in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the other game we're going to talk about in a little bit, the West Charlotte and Central Cabarrus.
Yeah.
One of them wants it to be around 90. One wants it to be around 60.
A game
You know?
of tempo,
That's
which
right.
team can
And that's
impose.
usually if you can get your tempo and control, then that I would favor that
Yeah,
particular team.
Farmville averages 82.
Hmm.
When Farmville has the ball, it don't hit the floor or hands much. They're up and down the floor so quick.
Kinston
They
averages
shoot it.
closer to 62.
Yeah, 62 and what?
82.
Yeah, there you
Wow,
go.
Think about it.
And
82.
I'll bet you the numbers will be even wider apart for West Charlotte and Central Cabarrus
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
that category. I would think that, but
Well-
now West Charlotte might score a lot because they're just pounding teams. But if you look at West Charlotte, they didn't pound everybody this year. They played 3A, 4A conference.
Oh, they've lost 9 games.
They lost 9 games.
Wow.
But now most of those were to Chambers and maybe North Mac.
North yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
2 teams that are Chambers was just beaten out in the
Mhm.
playoffs. North Mac's still playing in the 4A today, so that gives you a
Now-
preview of that.
Central Cabarrus is averaging like 85 points a game, I believe, right?
85, yeah. West Charlotte averages 66.
There you go. Well, about the same.
About the same.
Roughly 20.
Mm-hmm.
Which way is it easier to control tempo? Is it easier if you're the up and down the court, or is it easier if you're the slow it down?
I think the slow it
Slow
down
Yeah.
team,
Yeah. What forces you to
especially with no shot
speed
clock.
it up? Yeah,
Yeah,
right. No
even
shot
more
clock.
so.
Yeah. What does if you're coaching the teams that want a fast pace today, what you got to do?
Well, it's really good to make shots because that way they can't get the ball off the boards.
No, I
and
said
get
if
it down
you
the-
want to speed it up.
speed it up.
If you want to speed it up,
well,
what you got
usually
to
the
do?
answer is just pressure
Pressure
force
in the backcourt.
turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, you've got your press has to work.
yeah,
Either turn the
Press
other
has to
team
work.
over or make them shoot quick,
Quick.
bad shots.
yeah.
And as we talked about at breakfast, if West Charlotte puts some of those 7-12s out there, that's what I call them. They got a couple 7-12 guys on the front line. You can wear them down a little bit if you get the game speeded up enough. You can
Two
you can wear 'em down.
6'6", a 6'9", and a 6'10". All on
That's
West
got to be the
Charlotte's
biggest
roster.
baseline in high school basketball in North Carolina.
Especially in 3A. There might be a couple 4A
Yeah,
teams.
I
that
wouldn't. I
have
wouldn't go that far, Mike. Not yet. I mean, what was it again?
6'11", 6'9", and 2 6'6".
that. Yeah.
Man, I defy any team in North Carolina to produce
Well, you may
those
be
kind of
right.
numbers.
You might compete with some college teams, front line.
Bigger than Gaston
well.
College's team, that's for sure.
Scott Cloninger says, I talked to a couple basketball officials the other day that had Central Cabarrus game, and they said they were unreal. Everybody's unreal. But West Charlotte is Mike Tyson. And let's not
Yeah.
forget that West Charlotte is Mike Tyson.
That's right.
And what is it Tyson said? Everybody's okay till they get punched in the mouth. And
Yeah.
Everybody's got a plan.
Everybody's
they
got
get
a
punched in
plan
the
to
mouth.
West Charlotte's
punch in the
6'10"
mouth.
guy only averages 1 point a game.
I would be a little worried just because,
So
all
all of their size isn't a major factor.
West Charlotte played in a 4A, basically a 4A conference. You know what I mean? So don't let that fool you.
But their top 2 scorers are 6'6" and 6'9".
But now what amazes me about this Cabarrus team, Central Cabarrus, is Brett told me the first time we started talking about them and how good they were, that all of their top 6 scorers return next year. Is that right, Brett? The top
Yeah.
6 scorers on that team,
Wow.
I put it this way, are eligible
To return.
to return.
They have a set of twins
next
that are
year.
sophomores that are supposedly
really
their
good.
two best players.
But guys, we can't really say that anymore because it's even the transfer.
Oh yeah, you never know where they'll be next year.
Has
Yeah.
reached
They
into
all
the
can
high
return next
But
year.
that's why I say they're eligible to return. But you know what? To me, it's like two ways to look at it. If they don't win the state this year, they might want to say, hey, let's give it one more shot, and everybody come back. And even if they do win it, then they say, let's see if we can repeat. You know, I mean, I think a team like that is that good, they don't have to worry about being found. You know what I'm saying? The recruiting world, that's not a problem. Everybody knows who they are, where they are, and how good they are.
Well, the teams from Lincoln County went the deepest for studying contrast. We know that East Lincoln's girls, which had a great year and finished 26-2, mostly homegrown girls that all played basketball together, come up through the ranks. And on the Lincoln Charter boys, basically had a new starting lineup of players that were brought in. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that was factual.
Yeah, well,
Teams were assembled differently.
yeah, just like college basketball. We talk about Duke, how they just have to rebuild every year because their guys are one and done and they're going and they're out the door. And sometimes it's better just to have some juniors and seniors on the team. And
you and I, we felt that for years.
Yep.
That it's better to have some seasoned vets on the team.
Central Cabarrus rolled over Inca 89-47. West Charlotte beat Ben L. Smith, and this is a Ben L. Smith team that who was it they eliminated, Brett, in the sectional finals?
North Lincoln.
North Lincoln had made a really nice run, but Ben L. Smith beat them by 25 in that sectional final.
Right.
So West Charlotte's win, a 15-point win over Ben L. Smith, is very impressive in my book. To be able to do that. West Charlotte, Central Cabarrus today.
Here's the crazy thing about Central Cabarrus. In the playoffs, they've won by 51, 53, 40, and 42.
So what's going to happen if they come down to a nail biter?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really?
If they hadn't had one.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
really hadn't.
Yeah.
They beat West Rowan 3 times, all
Who's
by
usually
all
good.
by 30
Yeah.
or more.
Mm.
Yep. West Rowan's not a bad program either.
No.
And they beat them 3 times by 30.
One
That's
one
not
time by
chump change.
53.
Wow. That.
They beat Concord by about 30 a couple times. Beat them by 11 once. That
So who you taking today? Who's going to win that? Who's going to win that matchup? Central Cabarrus, the fast, up and down, do everything fast, or the big boys, the West Charlotte team that's going to try to slow it down, play half court, muscle you down, and you know, beat you 62-58. You know, who you taking in that thing?
Wow, that's tough because which team's going to impose its will on tempo?
I'm taking West Charlotte. I've always liked watching West Charlotte play. I always liked their size, and they always have some good guards too. It's not just that they're big.
Yeah.
They got some guards that can play. They're always well coached.
So
Play good defense.
So what we're saying is West Charlotte, for the most part, has played tougher competition through the year.
Well,
they played
appears-
4A Charlotte
it
schools.
appears.
So
Yeah.
But that tougher competition has beaten them.
yeah, they lost.
You
They
know?
lost 9 games.
Yeah.
And Central Cabarrus.
I think 5 of
Hadn't
those.
lost at
I
all.
think 5 of those losses combined were to North Meck and Chambers.
Chambers, yeah.
For West Charlotte. So it's not
Central
like they're-
Cabarrus's closest game all year was 11. They beat Concord 81-70
closest game was 11
in their conference.
I'm telling
conference
you,
tournament.
a team like that might crack if it's
They could.
4-point game with a minute to go. You know,
Yeah.
no matter
Or
which
they
side
get,
you're
or
on.
they get behind. They probably haven't been behind at all this year, or very little.
Yeah, I'd like to see how many minutes in the season.
They've
It can't
been
trail
behind.
much. If
No.
you know what I mean, maybe 2-0 a couple games.
Yeah.
But how many? Yeah, how much have they?
Last year they were eliminated by Weddington in the playoffs.
No, who wasn't?
Yeah.
Wedding, we talked about them. We're going to talk about them again here in a few minutes. Hasn't lost in over 2 years. Has not lost in over 2 years and has made the transition from 3A to 4A.
And it's weird, guys. When I think of Weddington, I'm thinking football.
Yeah, well,
because-
they're starting to expand, aren't they?
Think of the running back who played for Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess
At
he's
Central
still there.
Cabarrus, average score is 85-46.
God,
It's their average score on the year.
I don't know that I've ever heard of that kind of domination.
Yeah, especially this late. I mean, when you
Yeah.
can still say that.
Yeah.
And it's
That-
their 5 guys are about 6 foot or 6'1". Don't have.
Don't say 5
A lot
guys.
of
You make me want a
size.
hamburger.
So what we're saying is, what if they start missing a few threes? They're probably not going to get a lot of chances on the offensive glass.
Where's this one being played? I'm itching to
Freedom
go.
High School. 4 o'clock.
That's where Brett's going. He's going to see this game. I'm telling you, that's to me, that's a classic matchup of the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what we're going to see right there. I mean, that's
Quick game. He could get back.
And
in
I
time.
bet West Charlotte can get up and down the floor. I just don't think they'll want to. You know,
Yeah.
that's not going to be
Yeah.
their
No.
recipe to win this
Yeah,
game. It's
because
going to be to
you
play
know
that style.
because that gives them their best chance
Yeah.
to win. If you know even though you may be good at running too, but that gives Central Cabarrus their best chance to win. Central Cabarrus 89, Inca 47, West Charlotte 81, Ben L. Smith 66. The east side of that's West Carteret 51, Northwood 44, and Fayetteville 71st 63 over Rocky Mount 54. In the 4A, Weddington defeated Chambers. This had to be one of the best matchups too because a lot of eyes on this one. Weddington had the long run. Chambers has been the giant killer. I mean, they're just really good. And Weddington holds them off in a very low-scoring game, 58-56, in the semifinals of that 4A West region. They'll take on North Mac, who defeated Myers Park 91-73. While a lot of attention was on Weddington and Chambers, do not overlook North Mac because this team is traditionally in this position, very good. I think if you look at some of their scores, Brett, they've had some really, really impressive wins through the season. So North Mac, it's not like they're just the other team here. Somebody's got to play Weddington. No, North Mac may even be the favorite.
I like
in this
North
game.
Mac in the game. I watched Weddington and Chambers online the other night, and that was, I mean, the atmosphere was great. As good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to have been there to see what it was like, but both teams had big runs. Weddington had a big lead. Chambers came back, took the lead.
I guess that game
It's
was
got
at
Weddington at
Weddington.
39-0. Have they really played
was it
39 games?
Nah.
I don't think that's right.
Was it probably 29?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it at Weddington?
At Weddington, yeah. That's another reason I like North Met, because Weddington's finally having to leave their home floor,
Yeah, that's true.
go up to McDowell, the neutral
So
side.
how did this, if you watched this, did you see the end?
Yeah.
How did it end? How did it wind up?
Chambers missed a shot from about half court at the buzzer.
Really?
Yeah, that would have won it.
So did Weddington score on their last possession to take the lead, or did they just?
No, I think it was maybe a 4-point game. Chambers cut it to 2. Weddington missed a free throw.
Didn't you tell me they made a run at the end? They were down a little, like, is that the game you were telling me about this morning?
Weddington was up 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Chambers scored 13 straight to
Wow.
take the lead, but then Weddington got it right back.
Yeah. A lot of times it takes a lot of energy to make that comeback, get that
Yeah.
lead, and then you just don't have anything left to finish with, and that sounds like that's what happened to Chambers in that game. Weddington 58, Chambers 56, North Mac 91, Myers Park 73. One more before we go to break. Panther Creek 64, Raleigh Millbrook 61. That's the 4A East boys, and Cleveland High. This one really surprised me. Cleveland High beat Richmond County. And didn't just beat Richmond County, but beat them 83-62. Richmond had been winning games like that. Yeah, Richmond was a winner this year over Lincoln Charter.
Mm-hmm.
I know Lincoln Charter's 2A and Richmond's 4, but it was a 30-point game. So
Yeah, I thought Richmond was going to be the team to come out of the East.
Yep, I did too. And then they just get hammered by Cleveland. So we know that's not the Browns.
Yeah. I don't know that much about Cleveland High School.
They're the Rams. It's where is that located? I didn't know, but they've been pretty good. They've been pretty good the last few years in football and basketball. It's a I can't remember what county they're in, but it's Statesville, Rowan, somewhere up in that.
Not Cleveland County.
No, not that Cleveland, and certainly
Ohio.
If Jimmy Carr's tuned in, not that Cleveland. Not that Cleveland either, or George Dixon for that matter.
I don't know if Jimmy Carr cares much for that Cleveland.
No, he don't. He's just Ohio guy. You're right. You're right. He's a South Ohio guy. The Joe Burrows.
Yeah.
So he's a Buckeye person.
He is that.
Yeah.
Before we take a break, Lenny says, I remember Gary Fly Daddy Hallman telling me he didn't know it was an 8-hour drive to Morehead City until he went with Mike Powell.
Only then did he understand what he was dealing with.
And then I get another one that's also for Mike Powell. Danny Hoover says, tell the professor we'll see him at 11 a.m.
See him at 11,
in
baby.
the second and third grade basketball championship.
Championship.
So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll take a timeout. Back with more sports talk in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Mike Powell on vocals this morning. Doing good. See, breakfast does you good before the show.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I
we'll
I
start
need to
meeting.
change my
We'll start
routine.
meeting at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
for the.
Yeah, let's change
yeah,
our,
that would not phase Lanny.
let's change
at
our
all.
routine.
I don't know if I want to meet at 6 a.m.
No,
Especially,
I don't want to eat that early.
yeah, no, I don't either. I never have, but especially, once going to games and being out late on the Friday nights and things like that makes quite a bit of difference. Getting up and being somewhere. Yeah, 8 a.m.'s pretty good. 8 a.m.'s a good time. Get here about 7:30, get ready, everything like
Which
that.
is
After game night, especially after football.
Not as early as 6 a.m. Tim.
6 a.m. Tim.
6 a.m. Tim.
He's up and at it early.
Early.
And one thing I'll say about Tim, if you listen to him, you wouldn't think it's 6 a.m.
No, so it's like he's on full speed, full tilt boogie.
He definitely is that. Good morning, Chris Meeks this morning, who has tuned in and listening to us this morning.
By the way, Kinston, 11 state titles in their history. Farmville Central, 7.
That's the elite of the elite.
Yeah, and the chances is that's 18 now. Chances is that will grow to 19 for one of them.
Yeah.
On the other side, North Surrey has 4.
Yeah.
J.M. Robinson.
New school. Haven't been around long. But they've won one?
They did.
A 3A?
You remember LeVar Batts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His dad's the coach. Still is the coach. He was coaching then. They won it when he was there, when LeVar was playing.
Okay.
About, 5 or 6 years ago.
And whatever happened to LeVar Batts?
He went to state,
Did he?
didn't he? And then he transferred. I don't know where he ended up. His career's probably over by now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I told you guys this morning on the way back from breakfast, it's odd to word it that way because usually we go into breakfast at 10. And, yes, we are still going off at 10 this morning, even though we were late getting on. We're gonna conclude the show at 10 a.m. because of prior engagements for some of the folks in here. But I told you guys on the way back from breakfast this morning, I said I got music trivia for you. Mike said, "What is it?" I said, "No,
I'm always
we're gonna ask it
ready
on the
for
air."
Music trivia.
Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. And this is a Fleetwood Mac question. How good are you? How good are you on Fleetwood Mac?
Of course, I played the heck out of Rumors when it first came out, and I know something about them. And
What Fleetwood Mac song
yeah,
mentions North Carolina?
oh, that was before they became the Fleetwood Mac. That's way back in their blues days.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just asking the question
Ooh, what was it?
because I'm going to tell you something. Heard it yesterday. Didn't even know.
I've heard the song.
That's how I learned. I learned yesterday by listening to, and I heard this song, and I said, they just said North Carolina,
They did say North
and I said
Carolina.
I've got to look up the lyrics to make sure I heard what I thought I did. And sure enough, there you go. Now, we'll give our listeners, I wanted to get on here early enough that some of
that's
them
a
had a
tough
chance
one.
to
That's
weigh
tough.
in. I didn't say it was going to be easy. I don't, why should we give easy trivia when Lanny's giving away his car?
Way down in North Carolina. Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard the song.
Oh, so Mike's familiar with it.
I am, but I
But
can't give you the title.
Brett's looking
right
it
now.
up,
No. I don't.
which is fine.
I don't know.
I just don't know if
Has something to do with like being in the Bermuda Triangle or something.
somebody out there, somebody will know this though. The Fleetwood
Yeah.
Macs. I just think somebody will know.
Yeah, it was-
what,
but it was
even if they look it up, because this one's worth looking up. If you
At
got
one time, Fleetwood Mac was kind of a blues group.
Yeah.
They didn't have Stevie Nicks, and they didn't have Lindsey Buckingham. This is before all that.
yeah.
And
Well,
that's when
I will say this: it said Fleetwood Mac
I know.
on my screen,
Oh, yeah.
but the voice was
Well, yeah, different.
not recognizable.
No.
That you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So you're probably hitting the nail on the head there, Mike, with your back before
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac as we know them now. But I will say this: when you look it up, it is listed as a Fleetwood Mac
Oh yeah.
song.
Yeah, they put out
And
some.
I actually heard the song before,
It's a good song.
but it's the first time I ever noticed that it
Mm-hmm.
that it had mentioned North Carolina in it.
Yeah.
And where's Fleetwood Mac? West Coast? Are they not? I don't know. I'm just trying.
The original Fleetwood Mac came out of England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but aren't some of the members?
Mick
Some of the
Fleetwood
members
was
he
from
picked
England.
up from
Yeah.
L.A. or
Well,
not?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's.
Christy McVeigh, I think,
Yeah.
was from England, but Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie.
Buckingham sounds like it's got to be from England.
You would think.
yeah.
I don't
His
think
name's
Steve-
Buckingham, and he's from Pumpkin Center.
Yeah, Stevie Nicks was not English, though.
No.
You know that.
No.
Yeah.
Who is still the star of the group, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to go through the girls' scores from Thursday night. Bishop McGinnis 45, Murphy 35, Mountain Heritage over Starmount 54-37. On the east side, 1A girls, Wilson Prep. Ooh, familiar name, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Wilson Prep 66, Falls Lake 56.
Unfamiliar name.
Yes, it is, very much so. Bertie County 60, Northside 44. 2A, here's the one that everybody's talking about for the girls matchup today. 2A, Shelby beat Randleman 51-41. Salisbury over North Surrey 68-59. Shelby Salisbury, Brett says that's a rematch from last year.
Right.
And
It wasn't this late,
wasn't the
but yeah,
West
they
Finals,
did. They
but
did meet last year.
But it is a rematch from a playoff game a year ago. 2A East, this will shock you. Farmville Central girls. Did they not win it last year, Brett? Or
No, Shelby won it last year.
okay,
They might have
okay.
beat Farmville.
Yeah, they probably did, and then Farmville probably won it the year before that, or there was a co-champ at some point in there.
Yeah.
Let's see, Farmville Central 68, Roanoke Rapids 53, St. Paul's 56, East Bladen 41. 3A in the West, North Davidson. This is the team that eliminated East Lincoln. They defeated Carson 70-54. Inca 46, Parkwood 42. Inca's the story though of the playoffs, right? 11-14 when they started.
Oh yeah.
Now they're over 500 and still playing.
The Sugar Jets.
The Sugar Jets. Mike's favorite name
Yep,
of
by
any
far.
sports team.
By far.
If he ever starts a franchise, that's what they're
Yeah,
going to be
it'll
called.
be-
Oh, not the Chippewas.
The Sugar.
Oh, I forgot about the Chippewas of Central Michigan.
So the Sugar Was.
the Sugar Was.
We'll combine it, and he can name his team the Sugar Was.
The Chippa Sugars. Maybe.
3A East, Northwood over Williams, 66-52. Terry Sanford got it done all by himself, 58-50 over Rocky Mount.
Herself.
Is he still governor?
Could be her. Not today. 4A West, Charlotte Catholic over Lake Norman, 48-41. Chambers over Northern Guilford, 49-34. In the 4A East, Millbrook out of Raleigh beat Panther Creek 58-57, and Apex Friendship 50. Green Level 33. So there's a rundown of your girls' games. The sites today, the 1A West is at AC Reynolds. That's boys and girls. 2A West is at Grimsley and Greensboro. The 3A West is at Freedom High School. The 4A is at McDowell. And a lot of Charlotte teams were, not a lot, but at least 4, were complaining that they all in Mecklenburg County and got to go to McDowell to play their regional final.
Well, we know that there is potentially a reason for that, right? Smaller gyms. I mean, whereas McDowell.
Yeah, from what I was reading online,
Well,
Charlotte just
McDowell
doesn't have a
be
high
bigger.
school gym
Big
that's
enough.
big enough
Yeah, to
for
hold the crowd.
a regional final.
Yeah.
And McDowell holds, it said 3,000 or so.
I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking. I don't know if geography or driving distance came into play at all, or how they did this.
I think they
You would
already had the
would've
4
kinda
sites
but you
picked.
just kind of staggered them by where
And
you're
then
from. You know.
Like
Well, I'm sure they did. They had to line it up early.
Salisbury and J.M. Robinson, I guess, were a little closer to Greensboro, so they put 2A there. Hayesville, closest, I guess, was AC Reynolds.
You know what's really good about my music trivia question this morning?
I got some hints.
Give me a hint.
1973.
Not
Okay.
one text has lit up my phone yet
Writer was the lead singer,
on this.
Bob Welch. This is before the Lindsey Buckingham days.
Oh, Welsh. Okay, 1973. I knew it was early in the 70s.
Yep. Here comes one. Denny Hoover is going to give me. Oh, he got it. He said he give me the name, and then he said I looked it up. So
It's got something to do with like Bermuda Triangle or something. No.
it's something to do with Mike's state of mind when he gets here every Saturday
That's
morning.
right.
Hypnotized.
Hypnotized.
Hypnotized is the name of the song.
Yeah, that defines me. And when I get it, yeah,
Hypnotized is the name of the song. I heard it yesterday, and it mentions North Carolina
it does.
in the lyrics. Okay, tell me how it mentions it, Mike. You so confident over there.
I just remember North Carolina. I don't know the way the lyrics go in the song.
Seems like a dream. They got me hypnotized.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a meaningless question to ask if they've been and gone. It's not a meaningless question to ask if they've been and gone. I remember a talk about North Carolina and a strange, strange pond.
Ooh,
There you go.
that's pretty trippy, as they used to say, right?
Lenny says LeVar Batts went to North Carolina State University, but I saw him playing earlier this year at UNC Asheville.
Okay.
So there's
There you go.
a little bit.
So he's
of
probably
a-
sat out a
of
year
Yeah.
or two somewhere in there, and yeah,
before
probably
before the portal was activated.
because he won his title before Wendell Moore and Cox Mill started their run.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a big rivalry in that area, Cox Mill and J.M. Robinson, and
It was.
Wendell Moore's a junior at Duke, so he's at least a year or two older, probably 2 years older than him.
Here's another question, guys: is the bonus year due to COVID, is that finally over? I mean, everybody got an extra year. I just wonder if that's coming.
Well, it's not over, I don't guess, because the baseball
No, did
season
freshmen? Did
is
freshmen
not here yet, is
that-
it?
Get an extra year,
It won't be over
so
for
that
4 years.
it'll be a
then, or
few more
5,
years
yeah.
before it's over.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right, Brett. I guess everybody got it. So what do they classify them as? You know what I'm saying? Are you freshman twice? Is that the way you do it? And then that's the way I would do it.
Yeah,
Easier
I
to
don't
keep
know.
up with. You know, 2 years of being a freshman and then move up. Just looking at some of these headlines today, sources say that, and sources, that's always great, but the Cowboys are likely to release Amari Cooper, or Mari Cooper, which is it? Amari Cooper.
Amari, I'll take him.
What's the motivation there? You got
Money.
one less weapon.
It's money.
Okay.
It's everything this time of year when people get released, or most of this
Sure.
is
Cap
because
space,
of
money.
yeah. The bonus year is not over. Jason says the year technically won't be over until 2025. Yes, but still we
Wow.
get all the freshmen moved through. Lenny says he probably got a COVID year when he's talking about LeVar.
Yeah,
Batts
probably so.
Again,
Right.
that he
And
got.
maybe even a transfer. Sat out a year
Yeah.
after transferring.
Yep, got that extra year. Let's see. Going through some of the things we already mentioned this morning, that Brian Greasy leaving the Monday night booth to go to. I think that Monday night booth had pretty much, was it not going to be erased anyway and totally
More
gone? I
than
mean, they're really
likely.
bidding real high right now, aren't they, for Troy Aikman, trying to get him in
Yeah.
there and maybe even see,
Well, how
Joe
about
Buck go with him, and I don't know.
And I don't
There's
even,
a lot going
as
on.
long as the Mannings are doing their broadcast, I
matter.
don't even care about the
Yep.
regular crew.
Yep, it's different. It is different, but it is funny too. So
I like
it's-
the Mannings more than watching the game itself.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that before. Sunday night seems to get more better matchups than Monday.
Yeah.
Monday night
Yeah.
has had a string of some bad matches.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because Sunday night can flex later in the season, and Monday night stuck with what
Well,
they
Sunday
got.
night is supposed to be the game of the week,
Yeah.
the matchup of the week.
I still like the 4:25 Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
That's like we asked the other day. What do you think the biggest crowd is watching? I'm still not sure. It's not that.
Yeah.
The only thing is your ratings won't show it that way because there might be 4 or 5 games going on at that time, and it'll be spread out. Where on
Spread
Monday
out.
night and Sunday night it's just one,
Yeah.
so the ratings don't look as good.
Yeah, there's
but
usually 4 or 5
but I'll
games.
bet you there, if you add them all together, there's more. I would say more watching at that 4:25, probably than any other time. But then again,
Well, guys, are we not? We don't have that much time left. Are we not going to mention the big elephant in the room today?
what'd you call it, Lanny?
Well, Lanny's sitting over there. No, wait a minute. Of
Well,
course, the big one.
When I click on here, it pops up on my screen here. North Carolina at Duke, 22-8, 26-4. All I've seen all week is these things that say some of these messages saying Baycott's already got 2 fouls, and I'm saying
He hadn't got to Cameron yet.
yeah, he should have 4. That's what I said. He should have 4.
I'd like for him to have 4 right off the bat.
Here you go. It's simple. We talked about this at breakfast. The pressure is way too much for this young crowd at Duke. They fall tonight by 10.
Ouch. Oh.
Simple.
And you're a Duke fan.
Yeah. But,
I even wore my Duke colors today.
Wait and see.
Ouch.
And anybody wants a wager on that, I'm available.
Okay, here's what's going to happen.
Well, Duke is favored by 11.5 right now.
That's
I would
ridiculous.
definitely take Carolina with those points.
So
I would say by 5 o'clock this afternoon, that'll be down to 6.
Now here's what happens. They suffer the embarrassment of sending Coach K out as a loser in his final home game, but they catch fire,
Rebound, win the tournament.
win the tournament, and go on and win the national title.
Well, I would take that any day.
Sending
Who wouldn't
Coach
take that?
K
any
out,
day?
Yeah.
Sending Coach K out with a story.
You can write that all you want, but Mike, you hypnotized. You are hypnotized again this morning here. You
That
drank
makes
the
me think
Kool-Aid.
of Shane Battier's senior night when they lost at Maryland,
That's right.
and then they went on and didn't lose again.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, this game doesn't matter from the standpoint of the standing seedings. I guess it could cost Duke a number 1 seed in the NCAAs. That's the only thing, right? I mean, Carolina's already in the big dance. Duke's the number 1 seed for the
There you
conference
go.
tournament.
There you go. Number 1 seed. What does that do to you? Added pressure.
Yeah.
Why do you want that? Why do you want
I'm
that?
telling you,
You know,
pressure's completely on
yep.
Duke's 18
Yep.
and 19-year-old players. I mean, there's no doubt.
Lenny says Leaky Black was on the Cox Mill team with Wendell Moore, but he was a year older. He's a senior at
Yeah.
Carolina, but he is eligible next year for a COVID year. So we could see that come into play again with some of these athletes that
Yeah, he was one that started at Concord,
Mhm.
moved to Florida, and played somewhere for a year or 2, and came back and chose Cox Mill as his school.
Yeah, maybe that's cause
And they won a state
Moore
title.
was there and they teamed up and won a state title. Did you see them play that year? I'm sure you
Mhm.
did. I'm sure you
Yeah.
did. At some point, you saw that team
A couple
play.
times. I went and watched them play a home game against Lincoln Charter when Lincoln Charter had, Cody Schubert and the
Yeah.
Gabriel kid, and
Oh, yeah.
it was a really good game.
Yeah.
You guys have mentioned this, and while we're on the subject of Duke and North Carolina, and don't get me wrong, it's classic rivalry. It is one of the best because the numbers are so even, and even down to the points are so even throughout the years. But one of the things here that you guys mentioned this morning at breakfast was 32 days in Shesheskyville, camping with the crazies ahead of Coach Case home tonight. Now, we've seen tickets that are going as high for $75,000 this week for this game, anywhere from $2,500 to $75,000. I don't know where you're going to see it for $75,000 because Cameron's small anyway.
Yeah.
To me, $2,500.
I don't think 75 guarantees any seat preference.
I wouldn't pay $2,500, but what I'm saying is I would settle for the $2,500 before. But there's some people that don't care about the money, right? I mean, there's so many people out there that have so much money it doesn't matter what they pay for that particular ticket. But
I would rather camp out 32 days and get him free than pay $2,500.
Well,
32 days is a long time, though.
Well, that's what the students have been doing. And
That's less than $100 a day. You got, that $2,500 is less than $100 a day if you want to break it down that way.
I don't think there's anything that I would actually camp out.
That's
for
what's going to
32
be my
days for.
question. What would you, as a sports fan, as a music fan, as whatever kind of fan, is there anything that you would camp out in line, your place, for 32 days if you got to do it free? And these students are going to get free tickets, right? The students aren't just camping out with a chance to buy. It says
they don't have to.
It says
buy
on
the
here
tickets.
a chance to earn tickets.
Yeah.
So, they're not going to have to pay for theirs. But what would you camp out for 32 days?
And they're just camping out for a chance.
Yeah.
I would almost.
They might not
I don't
even
like
get
that
in.
either.
They could camp out 32 days and not get in.
I would almost consider the Wed Wiffle rivalry, OU Texas,
Oklahoma and Texas for that meaningless regular season.
No, it's a
Well, you know what though?
game.
With honestly, this is a big rivalry here, like that is. But with what makes it is it's Krzyzewski's last game in that building as the Duke head coach. But otherwise, it's just another game as well. It would be meaningless if it wasn't for that, right?
That's right. Basically.
I mean,
yeah.
That's where college basketball's gotten to today. It's kind of meaningless.
Wake me up in March.
And as much as all these great reruns that people have been watching on and telling me about, love texting me saying, you need to watch this ACC tournament stuff. And back in the day, ACC tournament was bigger than the NCAA tournament in our area.
Well, because
today it's not.
It's not. No, it's not.
It's not. It's bragging rights.
And this year it's in Brooklyn, of all places, the tournament.
Yeah,
right?
Brooklyn. Yeah.
But not exactly.
Is that the one
Tobacco
in
Road?
Is that the one in New York?
Not exactly Tobacco Road.
I just think that my opinion. I just think that with all the pressure that's going on, and these kids got to walk into that gym tonight, and they're 18 years old, and
yeah, I kind of see
it's tough.
a sloppy game.
Yeah.
On both sides.
It'd be hard to be focused.
I think it could affect the way Carolina plays a little bit too. All the hype.
Yeah.
Lenny sends me a message. My first comment to tell Lenny is I got 2 aluminum chairs at home. I'm willing to sell tonight.
I think it's going to come down to the wire.
Do you?
Yeah,
I
do.
wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the games do at least once a year.
The one in Chapel Hill earlier this season was an anomaly. That was not the way it usually goes.
I don't know if I would trust either team in a tight game in the last minute or two. I don't think either one of them are great in that situation.
Duke is the model. While we think Duke has been the model of inconsistency because they'll look great and they'll look back, Carolina's been right there too. I mean, Carolina had.
Well, the good thing
Florida
for Duke
State, they had
is
60 to 20.
Even some of Duke's
halftime
poor performances, they can still win with the talent.
Well,
if Carolina plays a poor game, they lose.
Duke,
because they don't have as much talent.
9 points separate Duke from an undefeated season. So even when they haven't played well, they've been in games to win it. In the last 4 or 5 games, they've been destroying teams. I thought
they looked pretty bad against Wake Forest that last time, but they still pulled it out.
Yeah, they didn't look good.
One thing, honestly, I think what helps Carolina is they're in a no-lose situation.
They are.
If they go in there and lose, they everybody can say, well, you were supposed to lose the game. You were 11-point underdog. So you can play a lot looser, whenever you have that kind of feeling going into the game.
4 losses have been at home. They have not
they have
played their best at home.
No, they haven't.
They've been a better team on the road for whatever
reason. That
reason.
Wake Forest game was at home, the one that they almost gave away.
We have got to go. We're out of time, but I want to tell you what Lenny's last message here said to me. 2 front row aluminum chair seats under the basket at Cameron tonight were for sale for $99,988
a piece.
Each.
Or together.
Each. $99,988 each for aluminum.
You think Peyton
chair
and Eli
under the
snatched
basket.
those up?
And under the basket, it is not even a great view.
No,
you know
that's
not on the 50. You know what I'm saying? That's I don't know if. Plus, you know what? If you're going because it's Krzyzewski's last game, I'd probably be on the end opposite of him, where I could never see him. You know what I'm saying? I'm under the basket on the other end from where Duke sits, and I don't even get to see him the whole night. Yeah. So I'm not worried about it. I don't have $99,000 to throw into the fun there to go see that game.
I just hope I get home from Freedom High School.
I don't even know what time the game is.
See the beginning. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. I see now. Yeah.
But if I don't, I'm not too worried.
Why is
about
it at 6 and not 8? Anybody know why it's at
Second
6 and not 8, or what? Is there a reason?
Well, the first game was at 6.
Yeah, that's when they've been doing them lately.
Yep, that doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm fine with it, but I just wonder why.
I would rather have 8.
Would you?
Quite honestly.
Okay. One more, Lenny says, that's the Bucky Waters seats under that basket.
Oh,
so.
Bucky's giving them up.
So. Well, I don't know if that's what he means or not.
$200.
Hey, we're sorry about the abbreviated show this morning, but thank you for tuning in. For Mike, Brad, I'm David. See you next week.